Redo the last missions from last time because apparently I didn't transfer the video over to YouTube. I need to get more consistent. Redo the last missions from last time because apparently I didn't transfer the video over to YouTube. Also, apparently, I can't pop out Twitch chat anymore. So I'm going to have to play on a fairly tiny screen. I hope it'll come through alright on you guys' end. Haha! I have Twitch chat working now. Has popped out. It's just, for some reason, the screen's so pulled far in that I couldn't see it immediately in my options.
No, absolutely not. This is your worst idea yet.
Do I need to remind you of the unwritten rule of acquisition, brother?
Rule 0. What the Nagus wants, we acquire. Why me? Get an eliminator to do it. Get 50. You can afford it.
You have connections with the Klingons. That and you're Rom's second most trusted Ferengi.
What? Who's first? Nog? Pell?
No. Moogie.
Fine. Send her then.
But brother, you did such a great job of rescuing her before.
I also told your son to shoot me if I ever thought of doing something like that again.
That's right, you did. Well, don't worry, he won't.
That's not what I'm worried about.
We need this, brother. We can't hold off the Hurk forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother, otherwise we're doomed.
Insanity! You don't even know where the Iconian fleet is, Rom.
I don't, but Starfleet intelligence monitors all major threats, including the Iconians.
Starfleet isn't in the habit of sharing classified data.
If we can get access to a security console, we can extract the data. We'll need to keep the security officer on duty occupied.
Leave that to me, husband.
All right, Lita. The security officer on duty is a creature of habit. Comes in on her break every day without fail. Your job is to keep her occupied so Rom can get what we need from the security console. Do what you need to do. Smile, laugh at her jokes, whatever it takes. Put those feminine wiles of yours to good use.
Really, Quark? I'm not here to seduce your customers. You and I both know there's more than one way to work a mark.
Whatever you say, just don't mess it up. She'll be here any minute now.
You worry too much, Quark. I got this. Woo! It's your lucky day, officer. You're the 10 millionth customer here at Quark's. Congratulations! You've just won a free drink and a free spin at the Davo table. Quark, why don't you pour the lucky winner a drink? What'll it be, Constable?
Oh, thanks. I'll take a nice Dractigino. I'm on duty. I can't stay too long, but I suppose I have enough time for a spin at the table. Lead the way.
Quark, will you turn that hollow me off, please? It's creeping me out.
This is why I like the Hololita. She doesn't complain as much as the original. There. Happy?
The free drink will get her to relax. And then some Dabo to keep her busy. One loss to remove suspicion.
Looks like my luck's run out. Oh well. Thanks for the drink.
Whoa, don't be so hasty, friend. The law of averages is on your side here. Trust me. Have another spin on the house. What have you got to lose?
Okay, you've convinced me. One more spin. Why not?
And then a victory to reel her in. Dabo!
Nicely done. Those winnings are coming out of your cut, though.
Good, the guard's distracted. Time to go to work. Overriding this door panel should be child's play. This is the most secret maintenance panel. Chief O'Brien needed me to fix it once. Once I'm in, I can install a back door. Then we can access the system from the console at Quark's.
She's heading back, Rom. Get out of there!
I don't think I've ever been able to accomplish the accolade there of getting it within 5 turns.
Relax, everyone. It's done. I'm on my way back.
Try not to look conspicuous or guilty.
Okay.
Can't believe you pulled that off. Being the Nagus hasn't made you go soft between the lobes. Let's figure this out before security gets wise. Use the console behind the bar and find out what you can about the Iconians. Oh, and while you're at it, look for any other useful information in there, too. Some of it could be valuable, you know.
Relax, brother. I'll have these files cracked in no time. Starfleet encryption is good, but it's nothing compared to what we use in the Commerce Authority. That's actually difficult.
One issue I have here. Well, I can believe Rom would be good at unlocking the door. And that he was not as good at cracking codes like Quark. So it just seems like kind of off there that they're having him be the code cracker.
Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 87961.3. Intermittent Borg activity in the Quadrant. We've been able to track a Unimatrix vessel, and our countermeasures are keeping its fleet at bay. The recent escalation of the Hurt conflict is straining the number of resources available for Borg surveillance. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 87983.1. Breen forces continue to harass the Teferi, though hostilities have not intensified as of late. The Brain have made no overtures toward the Dominion since their recent return to the Alpha Quadrant. Looks like the honeymoon might be over at last. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 88139.9. A large Fakiri fleet has been spotted in transit to the Gamma Quadrant. Analysis of their course suggests they're heading toward the renegade Iconian fleet. Interesting. If the two of them manage to eliminate each other, well, that'll be 2 less headaches to keep me up at night. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 89001.7. Major Herc activity throughout the 4 quadrants. As expected, Alliance forces are spread thin in attempts to protect critical sites in their own territory, as well as within the Dominion. The Klingons continue to stay out of it, with the exception of a token force of volunteers. Efforts to enlist the full aid of the Empire to date have faltered. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 87997.9. I can't help but be impressed by the Nakul. Their star is all but dead, their world's an ice ball, and they refuse to leave. They defend that ice ball against all comers, even the Herc. Every Nakul big enough to carry a phaser fought, and they actually won. And I thought Tellarites were stubborn. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 88006.2. There have been some recent Terran incursions from the Badlands, but nothing overly organized. As of now, there hasn't been any sight of Admiral Lita since her attack on DS9. Perhaps she has finally given up? One can only hope. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 89101.1. Tholian web technology has worked well against the Herc so far. They ensnared 70% of a Herc fleet shortly after it dropped out of warp. The rest of the fight was brief and one-sided. At least Tholian xenophobia is consistent. Our attempts to negotiate for web technology have been completely ignored. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 89001.7. Getting a lot of disturbing reports from Zenkethi space lately. Whispers of corruption in the highest ranks and talks of a coup are in the air on Zenketh. The Autarch's days might be numbered after his crusade failed, though the arrival of the Herc has kept him on the throne. For now. Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 88039.8. Taket's fleet is currently in the Phoeban sector, moving through deep space. She's keeping a low profile for the most part, avoiding conflict with both the Dominion and the Herc. Anything foolish enough to get in her sights doesn't live long enough to regret it, however. The wreckage of a Gamma pirate flotilla will testify to that.
All right, Rom, a deal is a deal. You found the Iconian, so I guess it's my turn now. Time to put the team together? And that's the job. Confront.
Where's Gala?
Really? He shot the hostage last time. He's not invited.
Brunt, your database skills should help us locate the package.
Always happy to help, Grand Nakus. Retreat.
Still a master of Rule 33. Aren't you, Brunt?
It never hurts to suck up to the boss. Of course. I presume you'll need my ship again, yes?
Not this time. We'll need a ship that can fight, just in case.
And we'll have it, thanks to our friend here.
Good. Everyone's here. Also, full consortium.
Oh, unbelievable.
The table's rigged, I'm sure of it.
Here we are. The cloaking device I acquired from my cousin Gala is working like a charm. Keep an eye on it, though. I'd rather not attract the attention of the Iconians, or the Fakiri, for that matter. Looks like they're busy trying to blow each other to bits out there. Let's use that to our advantage. You see those Iconian sentry probes? They use those to detect cloaked ships. So, you'll want to disable them before we move much closer. This cloak is good, but it's not that good. Getting in's the easy part. We're cloaked and unexpected.
Thought we didn't need a cloaking device since this ship already has one.
That should be enough to get to the flagship
we can all stop
undetected.
holding our breath now. It worked. If you'll be so kind as to fly us behind that massive Iconian ship, we'll be on our way.
I'm looking forward to this.
Almost there. Just take it nice and easy. We made it. I can't believe I'm actually going to sneak onto an Iconian flagship and... Oof. Keep the engine running, okay? I have a feeling we're going to need to get out of here in a hurry.
I've never been this close before. Impressive.
Terrifying is more like it. This is insane. Nog, you're our engineer. Buy at 400 and sell at 5.
It'll be up to you to disable the security systems, son.
Right. I'm familiar with their tech from the war. I won't let you down, Father. Evade.
We're up first, Nog. We need to lower the local security so Brunt and Leck can do their jobs.
No problem. I memorized the schematics for this vessel on the way here. There are engineering consoles we can use for that nearby. Follow me.
Head left here, Nog.
I've studied Iconian systems. I can unlock these doors.
Good.
If I send in the
We'll have to
appropriate
disable
signals to the
security
door,
and
I
engineering.
should be able to talk. If I send in the appropriate signals to the door, I should be able to toggle the door locks. The good news is that my tricorder can get me the signal I need to send. Got it. And we're...
Realized, wait, we completed it the proper way the first time. Why am I not using the brute force way?
Heralds! Don't worry, I can handle them.
Personal shield losing power.
Hold on, Uncle. Something's coming.
That looks like more than we can handle. Let Lek take care of it. He'll probably enjoy it.
Think I can lock the door behind once it's gone.
Great idea. Do that. Quickly! Head right here.
Got it. And we're done here.
Personal shield losing power.
We've made it. This is main engineering. Security's offline. We're good to go.
Can we drop their rear shield for a moment?
From the other console? Why?
You'll see.
What's that, Uncle?
Call it an insurance policy. Lek, how do you feel about Iconian heralds?
Very dangerous. I look forward to shooting some. Sell at 250? Buy at 100.
You'll get your chance, clearing the path for Quark and Nog.
The riskier the road, the greater the profit. I'm in.
Lek, Brunt, you're on.
Still say this was one of the best missions in this pack.
FCA. I'm on my way.
The hunt is on. Magnificent. Truly magnificent. It's looking this way between patrol points. I should be able to sneak up on it if I duck behind the walls. Ooh, they fight back. Good, good.
Personal shield losing power.
Eliminated. I bet I could make that console explode remotely. Not the explosion I was looking for, but it'll do.
I found the package. The Iconian keeps it on display in what looks like a trophy room. And here I thought they were above such basic behavior. I've analyzed their patrol patterns, Lek. You'll need a clear path for Quark and Nog. I trust you'll keep the guards in that area occupied for a suitable period of time.
Testing my skills against Iconians? This is worth more than latinum to me. Don't get your lobes bunched, Brunt. I'll clear the path for the others by any means necessary. More enemies to the left, and another console. If I make some noise, the big one will come to investigate. This isn't work. This is fun. What? Still no explosion? Ugh, ridiculous. If I overload those conduits, I'm sure it'll make a big explosion. Doesn't anything blow up around here? Lecter Quark, the path is clear.
I'm detecting some nearby patrols.
I will see if I can cause a distraction. Hold on. If I blow up that console, it'll cause a nice distraction. Nog, how do I overload these ridiculous Iconian consoles?
Easy. First you need to... Wait. How are you at trinary conversions?
Never mind. I have a workaround.
Brother, you'll crack the safe. Once Brunt finds it, that is.
Nice of you to give me the easy job, Rom.
By that point, Lek will have eliminated their guards.
We're talking about Iconians here, Rom.
I'll be with you, Uncle. You'll be fine.
Oh, I feel so much better now. Time for me to earn my share. Watch and learn.
Don't worry, Uncle. I've got your back. I'm impressed.
That's one word for it. He left some guarding the trophy room.
It's okay, Uncle. We can handle them.
All right, Nog, let's find the package. It has to be in one of the display cases around the room.
Interesting. I read about these at the Academy. Something called NASA sent them out on crewed space probes centuries ago to initiate first contact with alien life. I believe this contains audio files, animal sounds, music, language samples. My Earth history instructor would love to get her hands on this. We should, acquire it if we have the time. Uncle, that looks like Captain Sisko's baseball. You don't think it's his, do you? I thought Jake took it with him.
Do you remember when Sisko made us play baseball against the Vulcans? Rom wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Put a bunch of money into that new Interstellar League, too. Still can't believe he bought a professional team. The Ferenginar Liquidators. They're terrible. Got beat by the Cation Claws by a score of 18-4, and they were cheating!
You know, I always told the top brass at the Corps of Engineers that making the party poppers look like weapons was a bad idea. Any officer who uses one of those instead of a real weapon is in for a bad day. I suspect that's how Taket got her hand on one of these balloons. Shame.
That's a bottle of prune juice. I'd recognize that color anywhere. Worf constantly demanded I have a bottle on hand at the bar. A warrior's drink, he called it. More like a torture drink. I tried some once. Let's just say that it was not a pleasant digestive experience. Seeing these reminds me of the Dominion War. A lot of those were sent back home to loved ones. Starfleet, the Klingons, the Romulans, they all have their different rituals. Even the enemy cared for their dead.
And they say you don't have a heart, Uncle.
It's too bad we don't have enough time to steal these and sell them back to the people who want them. 34th rule of acquisition, Nog. War is good for business.
I've seen these statues on New Romulus. They were made by the Daewons, a servitor race of the Iconians. Not sure why Taket would keep one of these on display. Maybe it's of a sentimental value to her, even if that's possible.
Looks like a secure treasure box. I wonder what's inside. It could be practically anything. Leave it to an Iconian to lock up a box of valuables and hoard it away.
Well, not everyone is as good at opening locks as you, Uncle. Most people would need the appropriate key.
That's a lot of latinum. Impressive. I could buy a Starliner with that and have enough left to buy a condo on Riza. Probably not beachfront, but it'd be nice. It's FCA graded, too. She must have gotten it from a Ferengi. Oh, tough break. Seems only fitting that we acquire it. Fine. Mind on the mission. Stop looking at me like that. Is that part of an Iconium? Why would Tiquette keep a severed body part? That's insane.
Tiquette lost her arm when she fought Kalis during the war. She's keeping it as a trophy or maybe a reminder of one of her few failures. I knew she was intense, but this is pretty ridiculous. Amazing! That's a singularity. Tiquette must have taken it from a Romulan warbird. You could say it was the heart of that ship. Must have been a memorable opponent for her to keep that on display like this.
Package located. The Sword of Kalis. Now, we need to retrieve it. I can use this to bring the package from its display globe. I need to use the right frequencies, though. Enter the wrong one, and every alarm around will go off. The frequencies change periodically. Once I start this, I need to get them all, or I'll have to start over.
I can just scan the machine for you. Should be easy enough to get the frequencies.
You, of all people, should know that Federation tricorders record whatever they scan. Never leave a data trail. We'll do this the Ferengi way. It'll take someone with the lopes for the job. That's me.
Nicely done, Uncle! We did it! We actually did it! We shouldn't stick around, though. Let's head back to the shuttle before the Iconians figure out what we're up to.
Rule 7. Keep your ears open and your eyes on the mark.
That's far enough. Well done, Quark. You actually managed to pull it off! I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. You've a talent for larceny, after all. Time, however, is a factor. Hand it over now, or I'll shoot you both and take it from your cold, dead fingers.
Are you out of your mind? Have you forgotten who Nog and I are related to? No payout is worth what will happen to you if you do this. Rom will have every eliminator, bounty hunter, and pirate in the 4 quadrants gunning for you.
How did Lek put it? Oh, yes. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. Wise words indeed. The payout from this job will provide me with more than enough latinum to remove your idiot brother and take my rightful place as the Grand Nagus. I'm willing to give you a sporting chance, however. Hand over the package. You might be able to flee before that very angry Iconian arrives.
Have it your way, Brunt. You're dumber than you look. If you think the crew of our ride won't be suspicious when you come back without us. They'll probably throw you in the brig on general principle. I know I would.
Ah, but I won't be traveling with them, Quark. I've made other travel arrangements. Time's up. Hand it over, or prepare to meet the blessed exchequer. Ha! I'd pay a lot to witness that audit. Might even be worth dying for, just to hear you scream on your way to the vault of eternal destitution. Goodbye, Quark. At last, goodbye!
Nog! Now!
A force field? It will not stop me, Ferengi.
Look a little closer. That's a chronoton field. You might make it through, but it's definitely gonna hurt. A lot. Or we can talk like sensible, intelligent people. Your call.
Very well. Speak. Your crimes are numerous. You breached my security, damaged my vessel, killed members of my crew, violated my sanctum, and stolen something very precious to me. Each is punishable by death. Tell me, why shouldn't I purge you like the odious vermin you are?
That's where you're wrong. I don't have anything of yours on me. Run a scan if you don't believe me. If anything, I was trying to stop the lunatic that did steal from you. I may be odious vermin, but I'm not stupid. Look, we should be working together to stop our mutual enemy instead of wasting time with this argument.
There will be plenty of time to eliminate each and every one of you filthy creatures. That field of yours will drop eventually, and then you will die. Your cohort will be tracked and ultimately killed. I will have my vengeance on you all soon enough.
You're not entirely wrong, but I think you're going to have a much bigger problem to deal with in the very near future. Any moment now. Remember this? A little something we picked up on Karema. Keep it on your ship and beam it to our location when we give you the signal.
What's that, Uncle?
Call it an insurance policy. You might make it through, but it's definitely gonna hurt. A lot. Or we can talk like sensible, intelligent people. Your call.
Explain yourself. Speak
while you still can, Ferengi. They're called Herc. Maybe you've heard of them. Real nasty dispositions. Eat everything they come across, and now they've come across your fleet. You Iconians are tough, but you're not invincible. Against the Fakiri and the Herc, those are some pretty long odds, Ticket. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to let us go, and in return, I'll disable the device that's bringing every Herc in the quadrant here to chew on your ship. We'll go our way, you'll go yours. Otherwise, we'll wait and see what happens first. My field drops, or you and your ship become the main course at the Herc buffet.
I agree to your terms. Go! Get out! Leave my ship and disable your wretched device. Know this. You've made an enemy today, Ferengi. I am patient. I will avenge myself. You will pay for your crimes.
Right. Then we have a deal. We'll be on our way then. I'll take care of your Herc problem once I've made it to a safe distance. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but we both know that'd be a lie.
I do like that they brought Tiket back, if only for a little while, because she's been kind of a looming plot thread since the end of that arc.
What are we waiting for? Run! Run! We're almost there, but we lost the sword! We went through all of this, and for what?
Quark to Modron, is the package secured?
Modron here. You'll be happy to know the package is safe and sound. I beamed it to your ship a few minutes ago. I'm afraid Brunt is a little bruised, but these things happen. I'll keep him nice and sedated until we get back to the Alpha Quadrant. And Quark, be sure to let the Nagus know I held up my end of the bargain. Won't?
I'll be sure to let him know, Modron. Quark out. Always have a backup plan, Nog. Especially when dealing with snakes like Brunt. And look! The shuttle's right where we left it! Things are looking up for a change! Let's get out of here before Tket changes her mind.
Still have a feeling at some future point we're gonna get an arc comprised of all the old villains that remained after each one of the other arcs teaming up to try to take you out.
Thanks for sticking around. Now, if you don't mind, let's get back to DS9. There's a very cranky Iconian who's looking for an excuse to kill us all. I'd rather not give him one more, anyway. Thankfully, she'll be busy dealing with the Herc. Garrick's little toy works like a charm.
We've got a problem. The cloaking device is acting up. If it goes down, every ship in the system will know we're here. I'll do what I can to keep it running, but we might need to fight our way out of here. The cloak's offline!
Terrific! This is what I get for buying it from Gala.
Don't worry, I'll be running it again. I just need a couple minutes.
Where's Brunt?
We found another way back to DS9.
Just one more minute. Keep us safe.
Great thing about having a ship with a built-in cloak. Even though the cloak failed by story, I can just turn on my actual ship's cloak and just run the fuck away.
Cloak back up! Cloak's online again, and we're at a safe distance from the enemy. We can leave as soon as you're ready.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I was ready to go the minute we warped into this system. And I'm doubly ready to go now. Not to tell you your business, but make it so, please.
Quark and Nog told me you did a great job keeping them all safe. Thank you for bringing them back in one piece. The 6th rule of acquisition says, never allow family to stand in the way of opportunity. But what can I say? Family means a lot to me. Brunt is ambitious, but predictable. We expected him to betray us, and we capitalized on it. Brunt made life difficult for the Nausicans who worked for Madron. That was a painful decision. Ask Dr. Bashir about that if you're interested. Brunt made the mistake of dealing with someone more ambitious than he was. Madron came to me shortly after Brunt made him an offer, and I made Madron a counter-offer he couldn't refuse. I think I just came up with a new rule of acquisition. It's not smart to turn down a deal with the Grand Agus. I'm pretty sure Madron would agree with that.
Now, this is interesting. These readings indicate that the Sword of Kalis is made out of biological material with a germanium base. I'll need to run more tests to be certain, but I believe the weapon was fashioned out of a Herc carapace. This may explain. Based on the scans, that carapace was around for quite a long time before Kalis made a weapon out of it. The blade material is over 4,000 years old, where the story of Kalis is roughly only 1,600 years old. I'm reading traces of multiple radiation types within the blade. Discounting the type that likely came from the Iconians, there are still clear traces of thermobaric and tetrionic radiation. I believe we could cross-reference Alliance and Dominion star charts and easily determine where these traces of radiation originated from. We have a 4,000-year-old weapon made of a Herc carapace. My analysis of the radiation within the blade should allow us to narrow down its point of origin. I've had the computer working on that as we speak. Let's have a look. Cross-referencing all known Alliance and Dominion star charts, and voila! There's one system that contains all of the conditions we've isolated. Havas Kur, at the edge of Dominion space. It's possible we've just discovered the location of the Herc homeworld. We should forward this information to the appropriate parties at once. This could be the breakthrough we've been looking for.
Sounds impressive and valuable. Rule 21, Quark. Never place friendship above profit.
Unbelievable! I knew Brunt was a snake, but Lek? Guess I should have known better. The bigger the smile, the sharper the knife. And Lek's got plenty of both.
He's a fool if he thinks he can steal from me! I'll have every eliminator, bounty hunter, and pirate in the 4 quadrants gunning for him! No one steals from the Grand Nagus and lives to profit from it!
Considering how angry my father is, the Klingons will be the least of Lek's problems. I haven't seen him this mad since he caught me... Well, we don't need to get into that. Despite everything that's happened, we'll hold up our end of the bargain. I'll be in touch when everything is prepared. And remember, this operation never happened.
Think they bought it?
Completely. As far as they're concerned, the sword has been stolen. You, might want to lay low for a while, though.
Opportunity plus instinct equals profit. Well done, brother.
The sword of Kalis, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
So will I, Grilka, once the payment clears. Pleasure doing business with you.
I realized this was an unconventional mission, and it didn't go exactly as planned. Still, the day we discovered on the source of Kalis should be very helpful in the Alliance. We'll need to keep some of the details of the missions classified, of course, so whatever you do, don't mention it to Morn, or the whole quadrant will know about it by tomorrow.
Researchers led by my friend Dr. Bashir have isolated several fascinating aspects of Herc biology. I'm told this data provides insight on their native environment, specifically a metallic planetoid orbiting a pulsar within a nebula. There's one system that meets these requirements. Havas Kul in the Gamma Quadrant. I'm going there to investigate along with Captain Kira in the Defiant. Dr. Bashir will accompany us as well. His insight will be critical to the mission's success. The doctor believes Havas Kul awaits. I have nothing for you. Researchers led by my friend Dr. Bashir have isolated several fascinating aspects of Herc biology. I'm told this data provides insight on their native environment, specifically a metallic planetoid orbiting a pulsar within a nebula. There's one system that meets these requirements. Havas Kul in the Gamma Quadrant. I'm going there to investigate along with Captain Kira in the Defiant. Dr. Bashir will accompany us as well. His insight will be critical to the mission's success. The doctor believes we'll find what we need to end this conflict on Havas Kul. If he's right, and he often is, I'm willing to travel to the heart of enemy territory. Won't you join us?
Now we fly to the mission location.
Nor I. Isn't that strange? One would think they'd place a heavy guard on their home system. How peculiar. Let's use this opportunity to look around. Quietly, of course. We're reading a number of interesting phenomena, despite interference from the nebula. Let's see. Plethora of heavy metallic compounds, and a hotbed of tetryon and thermobaric energy throughout the nebula. A fitting birthplace for a future star.
There's a moon nearby. Preliminary scans aren't showing much, but it's just the kind of place the Herc could be using to hide a base. Or a fleet. I'd like to take a closer look. The pulsar's throwing off a lot of hazardous energy.
Most astute, Captain. Let's make the appropriate shield adjustments.
I don't like this. Scans are showing a lot of bare rock, but no metals or compounds. It's a lot like...
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Herc, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps we should send down a probe, just to be absolutely sure. There could be some Herc down there, hidden by the nebula's effect on our sensors.
It's barely Class D. No metals, complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Herc patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
The probe is online and transmitting. Our science teams are taking a close look at the incoming data, but it doesn't look terribly promising. Shall we forge on? There's a lovely planet nearby, no doubt filled with a bounty of toxic rocks and metallic salts. Entering scanning range now.
These astronomic readings are strange. The planet has a highly eccentric orbit. Looks like it collects matter from the nebula as it sweeps around the pulsar, all while being bombarded with radiation. definitely not habitable by most standards, though it's not quite demon class. An orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Herc life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergencies of the Herc. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Herc. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there. I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV suit before you beam down. We have some in that container for you to use. Once you're suited up, we'll beam you down to the secure zone. It's just below the planet's surface in a large cavern area.
Chamber appears to be a natural cavern, but the rings show unusual energy and lots of magnetized metals and salts. Not far from here, some of the caves near here have regular structures, like they were dug out rather than naturally occurring. Maybe the Herc had something like a ant hive. Let's check out Kira's away team and see what how they're progressing.
I should have a habitation area set up soon. We can replace the reducing atmosphere in this cavern with standard oxy-nitro and warm things up a bit. Kane's keeping watch, and Weir is looking into other connected areas. We should have a perimeter field up within a few minutes.
reading a lot of background radiation and some wild magnetic fields. It's like the pulsar and the nebula are supercharging the metallic crystal compounds here. The environment's very different from anything we'd consider a habitable planet. Explains why the Herc are so alien. Quite a treasure for a geologist like myself.
Everything's in order here. Define, do you still have a lock on us?
Affirmative. If you need transport, there may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder. Up there!
Look out! Ah!
Glad you're still with us. Whatever that was must have left you for dead. I'd get moving in case it comes back to make sure. Looks like you're in a series of tunnels that connect to a larger cavern. Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber. Are close to your position. They're moving into a large open chamber. Try to make your way to them. Be careful. Some of the crystal formations down there are emitting intense amounts of energy. We can't lock onto anyone with transporters, and the others are reporting that directed energy weapons won't work.
This is Bashir. Garrick and I are alive, but we're a little lost.
The creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
Garrick and I are moving into a very large, oblong chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make a nice
Looks like the door to the
spot.
next chamber is locked.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal node are interesting. It's generating a localized magnetic field. Manipulating that field could cause a response similar to pushing a button or flicking a switch. I wonder, do you think Herc can sense magnetic fields similar to sharks on Earth? Yes, of course. I think you'll find a way to manipulate that magnetic field to open the door. The morphogenic crystals are probably the keys, so look for one nearby that has a similar output to the door node.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak. It probably isn't usable. That one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest. That's the one you need. Use it to open that door. There's a deep crevice ahead of you. See if you can get across. Hazardous energy and anti-gravity ahead. Use your thrusters. The creature's turned back. It must not like anti-gravity. Slow and steady, don't get lost.
Garrick and I have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze. Not sure how to get out.
Ishimura here.
This one looks like
My nav system's useless.
Interesting.
I'll keep trying to find you all.
Starships had weapons until 2,000 years ago. Their first designs were way ahead of most species at that time, though. How did they go from geniuses to the ravenous eating machines we're dealing with now? Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out. Bashir and Garrick are just past this chamber. We're picking up some interesting tech on sensors. Interesting and old. Very old. Most of it predates the Federation by several centuries. Are you reading those energy patterns on the other side of that opening? They're far more intricate than the others we've seen. We think there's some kind of ship ahead of you. It shows signs of damage. You might be in some sort of dry dock or repair facility. Interesting. There are large gaps in tech level between each section of the facility. It's as if the Herc learn as they hibernate. They wake up with 1,000 years of advancements at hand and get ready to work.
A pleasure to see you. We'll need all the help we can get if we're to leave this world alive. To that end, the good doctor and I have started to make sense of our surroundings. We seem to be in some sort of Herc command center. From here, we can begin to restore power in critical systems.
Herc technology is driven by electromagnetic manipulation of morphogenic crystals. Doors, life support, everything, even their central computer. If we can find the right crystals, I can bring things back online. We can look for information on Herc biology within their data system. We might even find a cure here. I found a little information. This planet used to be rich in a type of fungus. It thrived in the harshest of environments, even areas high in pulsar radiation. It used to be a staple of the Herc diet until it disappeared from the ecosystem. Without it, the Herc began to suffer from a severe type of malnutrition. It led to a number of neurological disorders, many of which we've seen firsthand. Based on these readings, there should be more data storage units in the tunnels beyond this chamber. They're the ones by the door with the blue glow rods. One more thing. Some parts of the tunnels still have malfunctioning gravity systems. You should be able to navigate through them, but the energy fields in there will nullify your weapons, so be careful.
Oh, good. You made it. We were about to leave when... No! No!
What's going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined. It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries. That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Herc and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
One of your officers has arrived here.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
My God! The enzyme the Herc need is a precursor to Ketracel.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
One of your officers has arrived here.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here before...
Williams! It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
The Herc tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed.
That's Kane's helmet. I have a feeling we won't find the rest of him.
One of your officers has arrived here.
Random alien monster attacks through the cloak of darkness. Crew member named Kane died. What could this be referencing?
Nicely done. We should be able to translate Herc data files and run a detailed analysis of them at a greatly accelerated rate now. I have a good friend in Starfleet Engineering that would love to spend some time with this technology. The Herc have made some remarkable advances in their time. Ah, the first results are in. Excellent. I have access to a few critical systems, including gravity and power generation. Bringing them online now. That should make things go a little smoother. I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment to process it. Well, this is not good. It's a record of the fall of the Herc civilization at the hands of the Dominion. For some reason, the Dominion removed the fungus from the ecosystem during the Herc hibernation cycle. Military conquest, most likely. This is what drove the Herc to madness.
It appears we have some uninvited guests.
You're a long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Traveling incognito?
One of her many covert identities, I suspect.
This expedition of yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Herc were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying the Herc biology, I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor?
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Gem Hadar.
I think I've heard enough. I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this...
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
You would kill another founder?
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you, against the wall.
Odo, this is getting out of hand.
Stop this, now!
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
What now?
You've forced my hand. This is a modification of your own Herc lure. As we speak, every Herc in the quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam. I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld. Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
That's why you don't fuck with insect races. They don't play by normal rules.
think that's our cue. Now that we have restored operations here, our ships will be able to lock onto us with transporters. I suggest we take advantage of this while we can.
You did this? All of you? You killed a god? My god? My beautiful founder. Gone forever. I loved her so. And now you'll pay the price. Guards! Enough, Wayun. All of you stand down. No! You betrayed her! And the Dominion! I will carry out her final order!
That founder is no more, Wayun. This founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no founder! She was a founder! He is a traitor! Guards! Shoot to kill! All of them!
Belay that order.
What?
We do not serve you, Vorta. Where this founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend. Fine. Then I'll do it myself. Take Wayun into custody and return to your ship. We have business at the home world to attend to.
Tell me, was it part of your plan to draw every Herc in the sector to this system, Garrick? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
Try to hold them off. I'll see if I can arrange a distraction.
Target shield has failed. Containment breach! We've lost it! Rear shield failing. Right shield failing. Hull integrity below 50%. Vertical integrity failing. Abandoned ship!
Breaking off.
They've received the signal. They're heading for the Founder homeworld.
Target shield has failed.
I think we're in the clear. The Herc have departed for the Founder homeworld. It will take them some time to reach it, even at maximum warp. We should make the most of that time and bring an end to this madness. The information that the good doctor found should do just that. For now, let's return to our respective fleets and prepare for the next and hopefully final steps of this journey.
Thanks to Garrick, my homeworld is under siege. I realize there's not a lot of love lost to the Founders these days, but if the center of the Dominion falls to the Herc, the rest of the galaxy will soon follow suit. If you're willing to stand with us one last time, assemble your forces and rendezvous with my fleet in the Gamma Quadrant. I hope to see you there before it's too late for all of us.
There's a certain poetic symmetry at play here. The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course, our work is just beginning. We need to formulate a cure for the Herc before they devastate every system in the quadrant. Hopefully, we can achieve this lofty goal before they make a meal of the Dominion. Then again, science is often a lengthy, perilous process. I'm certainly glad to put Havas Kul behind me. Small, dark passages are not a passion of mine.
And Persa, the home... And Persa, the homeworld of the Founders, is under attack by the Herc. This is our darkest hour. If Empersa falls, the Dominion will come to an end. I'm asking you to join in the defense efforts as soon as you can. A task force will assemble at my fleet's location in the Gamma Quadrant and warp to Empersa from there. Remember, if we fall, the Alpha Quadrant is next. It's time to make a stand. I hope you'll join in the fight. Previously on Star Trek Online, the Dominion as you know it is on the verge of collapse. Without your help, the Herc will win the war of attrition.
What's happening?
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Karemic tech.
I found a similar device on Bejor.
These devices called the Herc, and we put them there. The other Founders are hiding things from me.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
We can't hold off the Herc forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother. Otherwise, we're doomed.
The Sword of Kalis, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
You found a secret I've kept for millennia.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. As we speak, every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And now the conclusion. I arrived here ahead of you, and I've already engaged the Herc near the planet. You've made your point, Garrick. Deactivate the Herc lure device you placed on the homeworld before this gets out of hand.
I'm afraid that's the problem, Ambassador. I deactivated it several minutes ago.
Then why are the Hercs still attacking? Don't play games with me here, Garrick. I'm warning you.
Perhaps they're still attacking due to a deep hatred of your people. After all, the Founders are directly responsible for their state of mind, body, and soul. I can't say I blame them for...
Enough! Both of you. We don't have time for this. There's bigger problems to deal with here, starting with that swarm of Herc vessels nearby.
Agreed. My fleet is already engaged near the planet, but Herc reinforcements keep arriving. Try to punch through the swarms so we can join up.
We may be needing your solution to this problem soon, Doctor.
Yes, since yours failed in a spectacular fashion.
4 shields failing.
Has it? Some might argue it succeeded beyond expectation.
75%. Rear shield failing.
This is the Chimera. We're here to help.
The CSS Steadfast stands ready to assist you as well.
My ship won't last much longer. We need to deal with the swarm attacking it immediately.
Target shield has failed.
Well done. The ship's taken heavy damage, but she'll survive.
Well, we've bought ourselves some time. Let's hope it's enough. Julian, is your plan ready? It may be our best hope to end things now.
It's as ready as possible, Captain. The challenge of frontier medicine, I'm afraid, is that there is never enough time. I've created a program that will enable the Herc to synthesize the compound they need to come to their senses. I've also put together a core sample of the compound for them to utilize in mass production. That is the easy part.
And the hard part? What do you need to make this happen?
From what we've learned about the Herc, the best way to make this happen will be to enter the data into one of their core computer systems. It'll need to be a command-level system with fleet-wide override authority. Systems of that caliber are only found on Herc dreadnoughts.
There's a Herc dreadnought heading toward the planet as we speak. It's slow, so we should be able to intercept it. I recommend we engage that ship and disable it, if possible. We'll need to get a team on board to carry out Julian's plan. We did it. The dreadnought's disabled. That ship is still crawling with Herc, though. Make sure your away teams are ready for a fight.
I'll send some of my best. Dukan Rex will lead a Jem'Hadar away team, while Loris will assist Dr. Bashir.
Right. Let's get the away teams on that dreadnought before it calls for backup.
Loris and I have all we need. We're ready to beam over when you are. We'll need to find their central computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the override process that will allow us to transmit our data on the cure. When that's done, we can instruct each ship in their fleet to replicate the cure and distribute it to every Herc on board. Of course, we need to reach the command center in one piece to do so.
Enemy life signs ahead. Get ready to fight. Proceed with caution. I'm reading numerous hazards in the area.
Enemy targets on enemy.
I have unpleasant news, I'm afraid. Herc security systems have sent an automated distress signal throughout the fleet. I recommend haste. We're going to have a great number of hostile guests, and far sooner than we'd like.
Excellent work. It's time for Loris and I to finish this. Keep your weapons handy, however. We're breaking into a secure computer system here. The Herc are bound to take offense. Keep them busy while we do our work, or this will be a wasted trip.
This one goes here! That one goes there!
I was saving time by inverting the feed now instead of later.
Flanking damage detected.
I thought you were supposed to be Starfleet's best and brightest!
I wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore if it weren't for this Herc nonsense.
We're running out of time, Doctor!
Perhaps you know a faster way to translate Herc language and reverse engineer their technology. Almost ready here. The system needs the physical samples of the cure for final analysis and processing. Shall I proceed? Are you insane, Wayun? That was our last hope.
How is this possible? You were in prison!
I was liberated by those who still served the true founders. Not everyone is a traitor to the Dominion, after all.
There is only one traitor here, Wayun. It's time you paid the price for your treachery!
Pathetic. You can't even kill someone properly. Allow me to instruct you. You! Jemadar! Make yourself useful! Kill them! I'm giving you an order! Open fire! Kill them, now!
I think not.
He's gone.
And not a moment too soon.
Bashir to command. Everyone, we have a problem.
That Herc fleet is about to attack our position. We need to give the doctor the time he needs to transmit data on the cure.
Well, you're in quite a fix there, Odo.
Brilliant observation, Quark. What do you want?
Forgive my brother, Odo. We're here to help.
The Ferengi cavalry? I thought I'd seen everything.
Oh, the best is yet to come, Odo. Say hello to my dangerous friends.
Well, Quark, we're waiting.
Rom, where are they?
Lose something? Like your nerve, perhaps?
Long ago, Takuvma, the Unforgettable, lit the beacon of Kahless to restore glory to the Empire. Today, a new torchbearer, Worf, son of Moog, does the same. United, We now go to fight the enemy of our ancestors. Today, we will fight the Herc. I now hold the weapon they fear most. The Sword of Kalis has been returned to us. Join me now in honorable combat. Show the Herc what it truly means to be Klingon. For Kalis, for the Empire, Kapla!
Target shields have failed. Rear shields failing.
The arrival of the Klingons has given us more time in space, but the situation on the surface is dire. Herc's forces are breaking the Jem'Hadar defense lines. We need to do what we can to help. I'm beaming directly to the Great Link to aid my people.
The time has come. The Herc mean to ravage everything in their path. We will not allow it. We will stand against them as Kalis once stood. Defiant and proud, fight well, and if need be, die well. Kapla!
Now, for the annoying part of this mission.
Whom do we seek? Kalis! How do we find him? Together! Kalis, give us light to see forever! Will he hide from us always? Never!
It's worse than we thought. Most of the Jem'Hadar lines have been broken. Even the Great Link is in danger. I'm going to coordinate our defenses at the link. Meet me there.
We'll meet you there as soon as we can. And Odo, be careful.
The Jem'Hadar have come to our aid. Now, we will return the favor.
We won't last long out in the open like this.
I die!
Odo to Kira. We're fortifying our position near the Great Link.
Understood.
Glory!
I don't know you, Solid, but I thank you for your service.
Is this some sort of solid invasion?
Your timing is fortuitous, Solid.
You made it. Good. We're going to need all the help we can get here. It looks like the Herc are focusing their attacks on the link. I've called for reinforcements, but most of our lines have been overrun. We're going to make a stand here and hope the Doctor's plan is successful. If not, if we fail, this may be the day the Dominion dies.
I hate that freaking run there because it's just so poorly designed. They want you to do these objectives that require you to talk to people.
Please
but
tell me you have more
trying
than
to talk to people, you get attacked. Being attacked negates your ability to talk to them. It's like,
the call's
why
been sent,
have a
but they
system
may not arrive in
requiring
time.
you to talk to these people if you're getting attacked by a literally
do what we can
infinite
with what we
number of
have, then.
enemies that prevents you from talking to them.
As always, until the end.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Odo.
Nerys, if we don't make it...
No, now is not the time for this discussion.
Look around. There may not be a better time.
You're right. And I understand what you did.
You do? Then you know how sorry I am for everything.
Yes. And I forgive you, Odo.
I know. I feel the same. Nerys, are you hurt?
It's just a scratch. I'm fine. We're losing ground here, Odo. Keep fighting.
We can't hold this position much longer.
That's Jem'Hadar, for we're about to die, Doctor. Are you ready?
Not without the Ketracel components needed for the cure.
Ketracel. Yes.
Victory.
Wait! Stop!
Is life. It seems the battle is over, but how? What happened up there, Doctor?
I believe Dukan Rex realized that his own body contained the Ketracel material I needed to finalize the cure. He extracted what we needed at the cost of his life. Once the Herc were able to synthesize the cure, they came to their senses and called for an immediate ceasefire. Their forces are withdrawing as we speak. It's over, Odo. I won't say we've won, but it's over. There was nothing I could do for him on the Herc Dreadnought. The Ketracel extraction process was too devastating. Odo, you treated him like a son when we first found him on DS9, and I'm truly sorry.
He didn't even have a name when he left us. I'll make sure the name he found is never forgotten. I remember his first days on the station. All he wanted to do was fight, didn't matter who. When he left, I thought I'd never see him again, or if I did, it'd be as enemies. The man I met years later still knew how to fight, but his reasons for doing so had changed dramatically. I'm proud to have known him. I wish I could have done more in the end. I suppose you're right. I believe Captain Kira was looking for you. She was at the Temple of the Prophets last I checked. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to pay my respects. We'll talk more later.
And here we are, once again. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Funny you should mention that. After we got back, Starfleet Command offered me a number of postings, Even the center chair on one of those shiny new cruisers. Tempting. But I chose to join the command staff here on DS9. Bajor and the Celestial Temple mean a lot to me, and this station is a good place to keep them both safe. Subtle, but you're not wrong. Odo and I have a lot to work out before we're back to where we were, but we've taken a few good steps in that direction. I think it'll work out. Eventually. He's a hard man to read sometimes.
Hello again, my friend. It pleases me to see you. I have interesting news. Thankfully, no. Rather, it involves the Orb of Peace that you returned with Kaiopaka. It has spoken to me. I've been exploring the meaning of that experience with the Kai and Captain Kira. They are, after all, experts on such matters. While we all find it curious that an Orb of the Prophets would speak to a Vorta, we also agree it would be foolish to ignore it. With the blessings of Founder Odo, I have been transferred to this quadrant to continue my studies of the Orb and the Prophets. I shall also serve as Founder Odo's representative here. Diplomacy is my specialty, after all. I'm sure we'll be seeing one another again. May the blessings of the Founders and the Prophets be yours.
It is good to see you once more. I was hoping we'd have a moment to speak on an important matter before your duties take you back to the stars. My thoughts often return to the Orb of Peace. It was no coincidence that it was found in the Gamma Quadrant, in the midst of two warring tribes. I believe it to be a message from the Prophets, one of guidance in troubled times. Now that the conflict with the Herc has ended, I feel it's time to explore this omen more thoroughly. The recent vision experienced by Loris is truly remarkable. That the Prophets would speak to a Vorta. Again, this is no coincidence. Simply put, I believe the Orb is meant to broker a lasting peace between the people of our quadrants and the Dominion.
Thank you for coming to visit. After all we've been through, it means a lot to have friends, even if it reminds me of the ones we miss. Speaking of reunions, I think General Martok is leading the charge against the Bloodwine at Quark's. I'm sure he'd want to congratulate you on another glorious victory. May the Prophets watch over you.
We'll be here at DS9 until my ship is repaired. Fortunately, I have exclusive rights to the holosim of the battle. The sales of that alone will cover the cost of repairs, and then some. Some days, it's good to be the Grand Nagus. I don't like to think about how close to disaster we were, though. Fortunately, there were people like you out there to bring us all back from the brink. All those adventures. You've got quite a story to tell. That reminds me. Have you ever considered making a holo biography? I think your life story would be quite popular and profitable. I'll make you a very generous offer for the rights and cut you in on a share of the profits, say 25%. Suit yourself. The offer still stands if you change your mind.
Oh, I'm so glad to see this come to an end. But not as glad as everyone back on Ferenginar. It's a celebration of Rule 35 like no one's ever seen before. I mean, peace may be good for business, but things are really getting out of hand. When word got out that the Gamma Quadrant was open for business, the new Latinum rush was on. Open borders and free trade policies. My husband was practically weeping with joy. Oh, poor Odo. He thought he had his hands full with Quark on DS9. Now, he's gonna have an entire quadrant full of Ferengi to deal with.
Welcome back. Seeing as this is a private party and I'm in an unusually generous mood, you'll be getting the VIP discount on your drinks tonight. Did you take a hit to the head in that fight? I'm in a good mood. Not insane. Half off. Take it or leave it. That's more like it. Don't take it personally. You could be Odo. His drinks? 50% markup. Not much to tell, really. Lex saw the error of his ways and gave it back. Then I had Grilka let Martok and Worf know we'd recovered their precious relic. A quick handoff later, and the Klingons were off to war. Rom and I tagged along, mainly to see the look on Odo's face when I rode in with the cavalry. That was priceless. If I die tomorrow, I'll go to the Exchequer with a smile on my face. Who do you think you're talking to? Nog? Unlike the Federation, the Klingons know of the value of latinum. I'm thinking of spending my cut on a smaller moon to orbit the one I already have. I might even name it Odo. Can I get you something?
We need to stop running into each other when the fate of the galaxy is on the line. I'd be fine with drinks here at Uncle's bar, or some baseball on the holodeck. That said, I can't think of too many people I trust when everything's on the line. Glad you were here for this. Starfleet's assigned the Chimera to peacekeeping duty in Herc space. We'll be working with the Joint Task Force to help the Herc get back on their feet again as well. There's a lot to be done, but we want to help them rejoin the galactic community. It is, but my crew is up for the challenge. They're some of Starfleet's best. Take care of yourself out there. Don't be a stranger.
I am forever indebted to you. Without your efforts, I would walk the path of exile for the rest of my days. Now, I will help make amends for all that has happened during Zencast's terrible crusade.
A hard-fought battle and a well-earned victory. And yet, we almost missed it. Our fleet would have never left the Empire if it weren't for the sword's return. Grilka tells me her former mate, Quark, had something to do with that. The sacred blade of Kahless, returned to the Empire by a Ferengi. Madness! Yes, it was Worf's idea to ignite the beacon of Kahless. A bold move, but it paid off. Only a coward could refuse such a call to arms. The legend of Kahless is stronger than ever. It would not surprise me if the High Council moved to create a new clone of the Emperor. There is great power in legend, after all.
Interesting. There's a message from Garrick on my monitor here. Text only. He wants you to meet him at his old tailor shop. Maybe he's had enough of politics and wants to get back in the fashion game. Probably more profitable in the long run, and easier on the nerves. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. He looks for secrets when he gets bored, and trust me, he's not the person you want poking around in your business.
The conflict may be over, but there's still plenty of work to be done. The Lucari have offered to help the Herc restore their homeworld's ecosystem, and they've accepted. Dr. Bashir will be working with us on this. It's our goal to ensure that no Herc will go without nourishment again. Some time ago, I hoped for a path to peaceful resolution to our troubles with the Herc. I'm happy to be part of such a solution, at last. Thank you for your efforts in getting us all to this point, to peace.
Thank you for meeting me here. Strangely, I find it easy to center myself in this shop, even relax. Quite so. Cardassia is about to begin a new journey, as it were, and I'll be going along for the ride. Oh, it is. Cardassia has been offered membership in the Alliance, and we've accepted. Our seat at the table was hard-earned, but we're ready and grateful to join the ongoing efforts. Officer exchange programs have already begun. In fact, I suspect you'll be seeing more Cardassian faces in the future. I hope you show them the same courtesy as you've shown me in our shared adventures. Oh, I'll be spending time on Earth, Kronos, and New Romulus. The life of an ambassador is never dull, after all. Someone needs to make sure the Alliance doesn't forget about Cardassia, and I suppose that someone is me. I'll be sure to follow your exploits, of course. They'll be far more entertaining than economic forecasts and state functions, to be sure. I believe our fearless leaders would like to have a word with you next.
There have been some significant diplomatic events since your return from the Gamma Quadrant. First, the Dominion is joining the Alliance. Having them as allies will take some getting used to, but the opportunity was too great to ignore. As a condition to joining the Alliance, we requested that the Founders take steps to free the Jem'Hadar from their addiction to Ketracel White. I'm happy to say that Ambassador Odo is inclined to comply with that request. It will make things interesting in the Gamma Quadrant, to be sure. Still, it's been a long time coming. The Jem'Hadar should be able to live their lives freely.
I have initiated a dialogue between the Dominion and the Karema. In light of recent events, I feel it is imperative that their conflict is resolved peacefully. Whether that results in an independent Karema or not remains to be seen, but I shall endeavor to help them reach a result that is beneficial for both parties.
The Havas Cool sector has been designated as independent from the Dominion, and a Herc neutral zone has been established around it. The Empire will join the Federation and the Republic in keeping the peace between the Dominion and the Herc. We have experience in enforcing a neutral zone after all. Martok's use of the beacon and the return of the blade has led to a renewed interest in Kahless throughout the Empire. Some say that Martok stands with honor next to great heroes like Tukuvma, Vok, L'Rell, and Kang. As if getting along with the stubborn old Targ wasn't difficult enough, his ego will be larger than Mount Hamar at this rate. It is fortunate that Martok has little in the way of political aspirations. Otherwise, I may need to kill him. Again. Ha!
The Dominion is about to go through a number of changes, liberating the Jem'Hadar from the White, phasing out the Founders' benevolent dictatorship, establishing a safe haven for the Herc. Needless to say, I'm going to be very busy for quite some time. No, there are still a number of Founders within the Great Link who will be very resistant to change. I'd like to think they're outnumbered by those willing to take a more democratic approach, however. The last thing anyone needs is a Dominion civil war. Also, not all of the Herc were cured. We'll be dealing with rogue swarms for some time. I hope we can call on you in the future if we run into that special kind of trouble you have a talent for dealing with. Oh, and speaking of trouble, you might keep an eye on Quark. That little act of heroism with the sword of Kahless will make him bolder than ever.
Things are finally settling down around here. Well, as much as it ever settles down, that is. Well, there's a lot to be done with the Herc, and being part of Starfleet will help me make things happen in that regard. When I'm not here, I'll be working with the Lucari and the crew of the USS Aventine to help the Herc get back on their feet. Indeed, but I happen to be married to the captain of the Aventine, so it won't be, too bad. The kids won't be joining us until Kumake and her team restore Havas-Kul to a more habitable state, however. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. But until then, be safe out there. Doctor's orders.
Well, that's caught up. And next week I'll have new missions to tackle for everybody. There should be 4 of them. They'll all go pretty quick.
The future of the Dominion is uncertain for the first time in many years. Without the Founder and her unbreakable will at the center of it all, the Gamma Quadrant will undoubtedly go through a great deal of turmoil. I'll do what I can to maintain order and keep the peace, but it's going to be challenging, to say the least. For now, what matters to me is that you fought for the Dominion when we needed it the most. I won't forget that. And thanks to the Great Link, neither will the Founders. Thank you. I hope we meet again under much better circumstances.